Alright, YouTube, it is Mr. Mean coming at you this fine Wednesday afternoon at about 3:30 p.m., March 11th, 2020. We have made it halfway through the week. It is hump day. Hope everybody's having a great day. Let's get some housekeeping out of the way. Let's get some housekeeping out of the way. Like and subscribe as always. Tell your friends. Pass it on. Let's grow the Meanie Army. Let's keep this tabletop RPG review stuff going and gaming sessions going. If you care to donate to the channel, it is greatly appreciated and helps out a lot. Anything that gets donated to the channel goes back into the channel. Rest assured. You can hit me up on ZellyPay at jpolack@gmail.com. That's JPOLACK at gmail.com. If you're outside of the U.S. and your banking institution doesn't offer ZellyPay, you can hit me up on PayPal, Pay Me, John Polak. There are links on my YouTube page to Discord, so feel free to jump in there and we can chat about games. Also upcoming, I'm thinking about running a Dungeon Crawl Classic session or two. We'll start with a funnel, and the only requirements would be a camera and a microphone. And there's a number of dice rollers out there that you can get to do the DCC dice, so I'll leave that up to you guys, but hopefully as it gets closer we'll put maybe some useful links in the Discord chat, and I might even set up a different channel in my Discord server for DCC. So anyway, today's video du jour, I want to give a shout out to all the new subscribers. There weren't that many because I haven't posted anything in 2 weeks, and I didn't do a live play of Pathfinder last Friday because we had a number of our players out. As you guys may or may not know, I'm getting ready to run an off session of What's Old is New. My good buddy Brian Isaacov turned me on to it. He bought me as a present all three books, the Old, Now, and New. And each one of these books is a self-contained game. It uses a D6 system, stat, and a skill. You have a maximum dice pool and a minimum dice pool for players. So like for first level players or starting out players have a maximum dice pool of 5d6. Now they can spend luck and there's other things that they can do to get more dice, but they're between a stat and a skill and their equipment, the maximum dice they can roll is based on their grade, and grade 1 characters or grade 5 characters can roll 5d6. Anyway, I've talked about this in the past. I've tried to record this video, by the way, 4 times last night, and it kept having technical difficulties, and I'm not quite sure what was going on. But anyway, I think I've got it figured out. So hopefully, wish me luck. Fingers crossed, we'll be able to get this one posted. So this is the What's Old is New. I was so enamored with it because I wanted to do my own sci-fi game set in my own little universe that me and the players are going to develop as we play. I decided to get the PDF and print it off so I could have a full-size copy. It's black and white. It's very nice. It's very well done. Just took it to my local Kinko's. Here it's the UPS store, and had the local kids there spiral bound it for me. So a couple bucks to print the book, depending on if you have access to a laser printer. I do, and so I was able to print it, and I have a nice laser printer here at home. Printed it black and white, of course, to save toner, and was able to print it out. So I also backed the Soul Space Kickstarter that just ended, and what was awesome is it was done by Ian World Publishing, and they run fabulous Kickstarters. This is the first one I've ever done, but I've heard other people talk just amazing things about them, and I can see why. The Kickstarter ended, and as soon as it ended, I got an email within minutes saying, hey, here's your PDFs for backing the project. So they're set to go. The books the hardback book and the softcover adventures, there was 2 adventures, the main one, Soul Space, and then another adventure that was opened via stretch goals, will be here sometime in April. So they didn't give an exact date yet, but part of that Kickstarter was the ability to get a hardback copy of the What's Old is New rulebook, and so I opted for that as well. So I'll have 3 copies of the sci-fi book. But I'm okay with that because 2 copies will be set outside for the players, and then I'll have a copy for me to reference. So it'll work out really well. So we are going to try to hopefully play this Friday. I just found out today that 2 of my players may be out, another player is definitely out, and another player's out. So if that's the case, I'll only have 1 player, and that's not enough to really run. It wouldn't make for a very exciting game on camera anyway. So hopefully him and his son will be able to play, and Anthony, my 3rd player, will be able to make it. He couldn't make it last week. So wish me luck. I would love to stream it and let you guys see, get a glimpse of what's old is new, so that you can see if that's a game system for you or not. It's kind of one of the things I kind of want to do with the channel. Unfortunately, my player base they're diehard. They just want to play Pathfinder. They're okay with running a secondary game as a backup game when all the players can't be there. But I really wanted to form a group, and it's so hard to find people that think like me, but I wanted to run a group that, maybe every couple of weeks we would try a new game. But unfortunately, it's really hard to find in a small town. And believe it or not, Duluth is kind of considered a small town. So that being said, that's what's going on with What's Old is New. I'm very excited. I'm very much looking forward to running and playing. The other thing was what led to What's Old is New. It's kind of a funny story. My buddy Brian, again, was touting the joys that is Alien, the RPG by Free League Publishing. If you haven't picked this up and you're on the fence, I'm going to tell you right now, get off the fence and buy it. It's that good. If you like horror, if you like space horror, if you love the Aliens franchise and you want to play in that universe, this is the game for you. It is very well done. I did another video showing the interior of the book and stuff, so go back and check that out in the archive. But really well done. Very happy with it, but I was all excited. I got the special dice, I got the GM screen, I was all excited to run it. Brought it up to the players and said, look, I want to run a sci-fi game when not everyone in our regular group can be here. I want an off game so that even though we've all gotten together, we may not be able to play Pathfinder, but at least we can still play something. And I don't mind GMing. I prefer to GM, so I will take the burden, I will take the expense, I will run the game. You guys just got to show up. And we keep the group going, keep the social stuff going, and it's great therapy for me. It's a great stress reliever, and maybe for even some of the other players, but I'm not sure about that. But I know for me, it's a great stress reliever, and it brings me joy to do it. And so they were like, "No, we don't want to play Alien," and I was like, "Okay, well, there's $65 out the window. $69, I think, was the total after everything. I got it all on Game Nerds for a really good price." I was like, okay, well, I want to run this. And they were like, no, we don't want to play that. Then I showed them What's Old is New, and they're like, yeah, we'll play that. And I'm like, okay. So I might just be a dick and run Aliens and What's Old is New, and then they don't have a choice. I still get to play Aliens. No, they don't have any interest in Alien, this type of Alien game. So not to say that that's not what's going to happen in What's Old is New, because it is fully capable of running horror, but I'm not going to do that to them. They have no interest in space aliens, so we're going to sit down and do a little world building and everything with the What's Old is New and that kind of stuff. But then the other thing that caught my eye was a couple of weeks ago I saw on Paizo's web, I think it was either the website or it was on I think it was on Miniature Market, and I didn't know what they were, so because I saw this box cover and I didn't know what that was, and I said, wow, what is this? I said, let me check this out. And so I went and did a little research, and I was able to find out that it's basically everything that's in the Pathfinder bestiary put into a card format, like a 3x5 card. So you have a picture of the monster, a nice glossy full color picture, and then on the back you have all the stats. Now some monsters or beasts may have multiple cards depending on how much there is. They can only fit so much on a card and still make it legible. So some cards will have multiple cards, but you got your cloaker. What is this? A Chul? Yeah, you got a Chul. Amazing art. They're kind of out of alphabetical order right now because I kind of messed them around. But everything that's in that bestiary is in here as a card. Here is another pack, and this is what they come like shrink wrap. So you get X amount of cards, and there's like 1, 2, 3. So there's 6 packs of these in this box. It's quite heavy, and I mean, this I just thought was a GM's dream come true right here. This is amazing. I'm very impressed and pleased with this purchase. Do I think it's worth $59.99? No, I don't. I think that is way overpriced. I know paper's not cheap this day, but I still think this is way overpriced for what it is. They already own the art. All they're doing is, basically cutting and pasting it in Photoshop and resizing it and sending it off to the printer. Paizo already has a standard printer that they work with, so they get a deal, and they're printing in bulk, thousands of copies of this. And I don't think this is justifiable for $60. I love Paizo. I think they're a great company. I want them to make money, but I don't think they need to gouge us. And I think it's taken a while to come into the gaming industry, but we're definitely seeing a price increase in books and stuff like that. And I know a number of small press, indie press publishers who have gotten hosed by China, either stuff not coming out on time or the product being just crap. And delaying their product because now they got to find a new printer and they got to fork out more money, and in some cases they can't even get their money back because it's China and there's no enforcement. So keep that in mind if you're a budding RPG publisher and you go with a reputable printer. You may spend a little bit more, but if you decide to go cheap, it may catch you with your pants down, and you don't want to be in that predicament, as the old saying goes. But I did find these on Game Nerds for like $35. I think it was $35, $37, $90, something like that. So it was a decent discount, and to me that was worth it. I know it was under $40 for sure. So keep an eye out for it. Check out Game Nerds or miniaturemarket.com. Amazon had it, but they were only selling it for like, I think, $51 or $52, which I didn't think was a good enough discount. I thought that was still too high because you're paying for something you already own, just in a different format. And while it's handy, don't get me wrong, I don't think it's justifiable at $60, because what I've been using is this. And don't get me wrong, these work great. I hang these on my GM screen facing the players this way. So like in this case, this is an assassin. So the players know it's an assassin, but I either have to hold up the bestiary or an applicable model if I have one, or whatever I'm using as the assassin, and say, this is this and da-da-da-da. Whereas these, all I have to do is hold up the card and show them, and I have all the stats on the back. Now, I'm still going to use these because I need to keep track of initiative in some way, shape, or form, and I'm not a fan of the list. Some GMs like to just make a list on a grease board or a dry erase board or on the bottom of a sheet of paper. Some GMs let the players keep track of initiative. I like to keep track of initiative, and I do this by making these little cards. You can see on this side, this is the side that faces me, and it's just the basic information. I usually print off, I have the bestiary as a PDF, and so I'll print the page I need, and then I'll write on that as it's in front of me. But I'm constantly doing this, which is distracting to the players, and it's distracting to me. I don't like doing that. I want to focus on the players. I want to look them in the eye. I want them to feel what I'm feeling, the joy, the excitement, the terror, the fear, the angst, whatever it may be that I'm trying to convey through the scene. I want them to get that from me, not me doing this every time trying to read their abilities. So that's what's going to be really nice about the cards. I can lean the card up against the GM screen, and I can have all their stats right there. You could say I could do that with a sheet of paper, but it would cover up most of the GM screen. And so I'm quite pleased with these. Don't get me wrong, I'm still going to use these. In fact, if anybody knows of anyone that's doing like an Etsy store or eBay, I don't think I've seen them on eBay, but Etsy, Yahoo groups or Google groups or whatever, if anybody knows anybody that's making these for Pathfinder 2nd edition, they have a number out there for 1st edition Pathfinder and D&D 5th edition. I haven't seen any for Pathfinder 2nd edition, but they're just little cards that you can print, and if you have a paper cutter, which I do, you can cut it out and fold it and hang them over your GM screen or however you want to do it. So if anybody knows of that, drop me a Discord link or drop a note here in the show notes and let me know. I'll put all the info in the doobly-doo as always. So I just wanted to rip out a quick video. I hadn't done one in 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks, and I wanted to let you guys know I was still alive, everything's going well, and I wanted to get something out there. Don't have any like new games, and nothing on the shelf is sparking me. As the weather gets a little bit warmer, I plan on cleaning out the shelf back there, right there, and taking some of these boxes over here on the side that you can't see and swapping out games so that I have different stuff on the shelf I'm looking at, so that that will give me inspiration to do a video. But as always, if there's a a game system or an RPG that you're interested in that you would like me to do a review, feel free to send me a proper PDF. I don't mean a pirated version. I don't want to do that. I want to support these game companies. It takes a lot of effort and endeavorment on the person's side to create these products, and I think by pirating it, we're doing a disservice to our own hobby. Now, that being said, also I can see why people pirate when you got $60 for something you already own, or if you don't own, in a different format. So we'll leave that debate for another time. But if you're an RPG creator or you work for a publishing company and you want me to review your products, feel free to send me an email. I'll be more than happy to do it. I do have one or two products in the wings. I have Mothership. I've already did the core review, but I have a bunch of I did the Kickstarter. I'm waiting for the physical products to come in, and then I'll review those as well, because I was very enamored with Mothership. Even though I didn't get to play it, I did read it. It's basically a comic book. It's 30-something pages, I think 18 pages front and back. I don't know. It's a leaflet game, but it's really well done. So that's what we talked about today. We will try to go live Friday night to play What's Old is New Sci-Fi in a world of my own design. I do have a World Builder account. If you're not familiar with that, just do a quick Google search for World Builder RPG. It's a very cool site where if you're a budding author or a writer or just a creative person, you can pay a yearly fee, and that's relatively nominal. I think it was like $50, and I think I got it cheaper because I did some promo code or whatever. But you can they'll host it all up there, and you can do your world building, you can do maps, you can do NPCs, you can do PC. And so I'm going to try to use that and incorporate it with the game and keep everybody up to date on that as it gets closer. So anyway, just a real quick video. I know I rushed and I spoke really fast. I have to go pick up my son from daycare. So peace and hair grease, love and happiness to everybody. And as always, I'll see you next time. And Mr. Mean says, be nice.